So this time around, we got a Yu-Gi-Oh! Main deck meta staples tier list. If any staples aren't in there, I just didn't put them. I didn't make this template, so you know. Gias 8084784 made it. So if something isn't in here, don't blame me. Don't actively go and blame him though, because you know he still made this. That's kind of nice, but yeah. Zoo King, I mean, it's pretty decent clearing boards, right? Nothing special. Ash, always a very great hand trap. It depends on the meta really, but it's an insanely strong hand trap that stops a lot of things. Book of Moon, I think is a bit underrated, being a quick play spell, you know. But you can use it going second or going first. Flipping a monster face down is more devastating than it sounds, because it means you can't go into links, synchro XCs, you know. So it's a decent staple actually. Called by the Grave is definitely S tier. Not just the ability to stop hand traps, but also to just banish something from the grave and make it possible to use that card for like this and the next turn, I believe. Kind of a broken card, wouldn't be surprised if it hits banlist sooner than later. Compulse is decent, it's definitely not one of the best staples out there, but it's not a bad card by any means. I just wouldn't run it, ever, personally. But that might just be preference as well. I forgot the TCG name for a second. I know it was like Manhunt in the OCG. So this can basically steal your opponent's monster, and I believe can just link it away, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it can. What's the better interrupts? Maybe, yeah, actually low A tier. In the right deck, this is an insanely strong card. It just removes your opponent's monster and also negates its effects. So I'm not sure if it negates previous activation, however. Still pretty good card. Dark Hole just isn't a good card. Getting rid of just monsters on the field. I would never run this. It also destroys your own monsters outside of like the one archetypes that benefits from it. As a normal spell, it's just a no. Dark Hole no more, it's also better board breaker cards. It also doesn't require you to discard anything. The only negative effect is that you cannot deal damage for the rest of the turn. Which I think is a fair trade-off. Bankratops. Mid A tier, it's sadly limited, but it's a very good card. It breaks board, but even going first, you know, get your special summit, I believe. But you won't need to control something for this one. I don't exactly know the summoning conditions. Regardless, it just solves many. It does many things. It destroys boards. It can also just offer up, you know, an extra interrupt. I think it's a very good card. Forbidden Chalice, it just negates the card or something. You have hand traps and do several things. Lance was, I believe, the one that makes you immune to spell traps. Still exactly great, but at least you can play around stuff like Imperm. Still not a fan. Might be mixing them up, but I just don't think these forbidden cards are worth anything. Droplets, however. Personally, believe it's like a worse Dark Ruler no more, but in certain situations it's just better. It really depends on what deck you're playing, what deck you're facing. There are two tools for a similar purpose. It's different situations. Gabashiel, just guys in general. I think they are never bad, but yeah, it just honestly depends on what's in the meta. Usually you want them in the side, not in the main. I think Ice Dragon Prison right now is broken. Mostly just due to Dracoon and Destiny Hero fusion. Destroy Phoenix and Force being a thing. It's one of the easiest ways to permanently get rid of them. But also, against a lot of decks in general, it's very good, you know. It doesn't target your opponent's monster, it just steals monsters from the grave and then banishes them both. Not only are you removing a card from their grave, you're also banishing an additional card from the field. Granted, it might be a bit tough to activate at points, but yeah, I still think it's a very strong card. Into the Void is not a staple. I don't agree that it shouldn't be on this list. It's only good to certain strategy, and those strategies can be borderline disgusting. I wouldn't exactly put it as a staple. I'm personally a huge fan of Lightning Storm. Main reason that it not only gets rid of monsters, or at least force out a negation, but also get rid of back row. I like versatility in cards, so I'm putting it high in the A tier. Depending on how important you value, how high you value versatility, your white rank is lower. Mind Control, very, very good card with Breaking Board. If you're planning to go second, you probably want to run this. Not gonna lie. Monster Reborn. Yeah, okay, that's a bit harsh. Maybe like D2, yeah, low C maybe. It's like not terrible, but if this went to 3, not a lot of decks would play it. Still. Mystic Mine, I don't really agree on being a staple. It's a very good card. It's like S tier in the right deck. I don't think it's a staple. Space Typhoon is pretty bad. There's better options out there. Like, there's literally a better MST. Which I'm gonna place like high C tier. This is literally better. He has to cost life points with Banish, and Banish is just, against most decks, way better. Needle Shielding, if there are 4 more cards, if there are 4 more monsters on the field, destroy all face-up monsters. Low D tier, it's... Well, I guess it's not truly a worst Rentail because it protects face-down monsters. If you play like Subterra, I guess that could be relevant. I could see Paleozoic lists playing this, but outside of that, it's not exactly a great staple, so D tier feels fair to me. What's this Paleozoic again? Is this a Dinomischus? Oh, I actually got the name right. It's like a Karma Cut. Target card face up on the field, discard a card, banish it. It's just any card. Face up card on the field. Granted, it requires a discard, but it can a discard, I mean, which is the best, which is nowadays is the worst cost. And it just straight up banishes. I think that's very good. Pal exceed C tier due to just many great targets existing. One of the main ones being Dweller. Yeah, no, I think this one deserves C. Everest. A lot of people thought it would be strong when it came off, but it's just really not great outside of like Zodiac, which isn't really a deck anymore, so yeah. Desires. Insanely strong in the right deck, like Sword Soul. It's just literally a +1 card advantage. You don't mind the card you banish at all. But of Extravagance. High B tier. It's very strong in certain strategies, but outside of those strategies, it's literally unplayable. You really need to not care about your extra deck to run this. It's not as versatile as Desires, so I think a B tier is justified. Prosperity, high A tier. I think the ability to look at 6 cards and pick one from them is more devastating than getting 2 random cards in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Hence me putting this card here. Raigeki, high D tier. I guess it's gonna be used to go second, but in general I wouldn't play this. It has its uses. Red Reboot. Like, against the right deck, it's completely broken. Against other decks, it does nothing. And against decks broken against, this card should not be legal. So, if your opponent tries to activate the trap, you can activate it from your hand, negate the activation, and then they can set a trap from their hand, from the deck. And then they cannot use traps for the rest of the turn. If Flynn gets a control deck, that means no traps for the rest of the turn. You can just easily OTK, because it doesn't have battle damage or anything. Yeah, this card is ridiculous against certain matchups, but outside of those matchups, it's completely terrible. Underutilized card, I think Solemn Judgment is okay, a lot of people already play it. But still, half life point costs don't really matter that much. Negate anything as a counter trap, meaning it's hard to play around since you need a counter trap to negate it. Protects you against your Lightning Storms, your Dark Rulers, your Droplets. Very strong card. Strikes like mid-seed here, you need a certain deck to play it. I'm not a fan of it nowadays, but some decks will probably play it. I'd rather have a Veiler myself, for example. Super Poly is excellent when it comes to breaking boards. You just need the right deck for it, but just being unable to be negated is ridiculous. At least droplets can be negated with traps. You can't negate this at all. Terraforming isn't the... I suppose it's a staple in certain decks, and those decks is insane. But outside of those decks, it's not really that generic. So I'd say like mid B tier, just nuking the entire field as a trap is still pretty decent. There are some control decks that play it, and yeah, it's not a bad card at all. It's not auto-included in everything. It's a pretty good control staple. Talents. I'm not the biggest tactical talents fan, it just requires somewhat specific conditions, otherwise it just doesn't do anything. Against certain decks, it just, yeah, literally does nothing. Twin Twisters. Lightning Storm is better. Cosmic Cyclone, I prefer. But I suppose it's not inherently terrible. Nowadays, Evenly Match isn't... I mean, it's still a pretty decent card, I guess. Combined with other board breakers. It does skip your battle phase, however, that's kind of a problem. But banishing is the best way to remove cards, after all. It's just a problem that certain decks will just sit on the Phoenix Enforcer or Dragoon, and then this doesn't do much since they just have one strong monster. It's like, it's pretty okay, it does job well against control decks. That's Don't Open Sword of Judgment. Quite specific decks, but in those decks is great. You need to set it, it's a trap. You can destroy it to your back row, which is very good. Slumber. Maybe a bit of an underrated card, who knows. It's like a Dark Hole that also gives you a free Kaiju on the field, which means more damage. And you can also in a future turn banish it to search a Kaiju. It's like, what? Upstart, I think, is like a pretty high A tier. If it went to 3, everyone would run it. Well, not everyone. Both Extravagance and Prosperity Card clash with it. Like, outside of decks running those. It literally increases the chance of seeing any other card in your deck. That's inherently insane. Imperial Order is kind of broken. Just negating one of the 3 card types on the field. Most common way to remove traps is spells. Very devastating card. Not everyone can run it. Does work against every deck, but when it works against a deck that can't play, spells are more common than traps, hence placing it above red reboot. Skill Drain. If you're able to play it, it's easier to place it as up like Mystic Mine, so placing it higher. If your deck is able to play Skill Drain, it's insane. It's only at 1, so it's unreliable as hell. But holy shit, this card's good. Instant Fusion is another one of those S tiers. Card's insane, it's sadly at 1, so less people of course play it. But you have so many options with this card, it's such a versatile card. That alone makes it worthwhile in my opinion. So it's also just very devastating against the right matchup, just shotgun it in the draft phase if they don't have a way to deal with it right now. They cannot go to the extra deck for that turn. And many decks can't play without the extra deck. Feather Duster, you cite this, but it's a very good back row removal option. I prefer Lightning Storm by far, but Feather Duster definitely isn't bad either. Anti-spell. Worse version of Imperial Order, but still very, very great in the right decks. There can be only one, need a very specific deck to run this, but once again, very great. I think this is about a fair Yu-Gi-Oh! Main deck made a staple tier list. If you disagree, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching this. So you guys signing out, have a beautiful day, goodbye.
Makes me feel alive. My heart beats